Okay. Hello, we're here in Istanbul. This is behind us, and I'm here with Amir.
Yeah, nice to meet you in person.
It's good to meet you too, and I'm really glad to spend some time with another language learner. We've been speaking languages non-stop, which is pretty typical, really, and using our languages around the city as well. It's not only for Turkish, but there are lots of languages that we can use around the city. We've bumped into Italians, Germans, you name it, really. We've sort of used a wide range of languages, and it's a great way to refresh and to keep up languages, to practice with lots of people. And it's a question that I get asked quite a lot on on the YouTube channel, on Facebook, and all sorts of media where people write to me asking how you keep up with a number of languages. And so you're in a similar situation in that you have more than 5 languages to keep up.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, and I think once you get past that sort of like number of 5, 6 languages, it does start to get to be a bit tricky to really use them and to keep up with them and to not forget them. And it's a question that, as I say, I'm asked a lot. So how do you manage it?
Well, I think you made an interesting point. I think yesterday when we were talking about languages like Portuguese. You said that the fact that you speak Spanish and French on a regular basis, that keeps your Portuguese alive. So with the Romance languages, or if one speaks a number of Germanic languages, then for example the fact that you use German or Dutch more or less regularly keeps your Swedish alive. That could be the case. But in general, I think it's important to actually do it and to spend at least 10 minutes with the language, even if you're really tired. You can always just either listen to the interview or even read subtitles or just read the headlines.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just a little bit of input, isn't it, that sort of keeps it fresh in your head.
Yeah.
I know, as I say, we were talking about this the other day, and you're right. I find that always with languages of the same family, you think of the words that are maybe the same or different, and I make those connections in my head all the time. So if you're thinking of blanco in Spanish, you're thinking of branco in Portuguese, but languages, for example, like Turkish, which for me is quite disconnected from many of the languages, except maybe Macedonian has around 3,500 Turkish words in the language, but the structure is very different.
Logic also.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with Kazakh, does that help? Do you think?
I mean, the fair analogy would be like Romanian and Italian, in the sense that those languages are kind of close, but you cannot really have a meaningful conversation, like one person speaking Kazakh and another person responding in Turkish.
No.
So, but yeah, they are distantly related. I think like Hungarian and Finnish would be.
Yeah,
I mean, analogy.
Maybe a bit closer than Hungarian and Finnish.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, those are closer.
But
Finnish and Hungarian.
It's true that once you get past a certain number, there's also a certain amount of hours in the day that you can dedicate. I know that I try and use mine in my work, in my personal life, online, chatting with people. But of course, I don't get to speak every language every day. It would be nigh on impossible to do everything that I've studied. So there comes a point as well, I don't know if you've had this, where you make a decision to keep a language at a certain level, maybe at a lower level.
Yeah.
So you're not going to take every language to this sort of wildly amazing sort of C1, C2, whatever, really fluent level.
I mean, even professionals who do simultaneous interpretation, I've heard it from you today actually, that they are only allowed to translate into their native tongue.
Normally you would translate into your native tongue, from what I understand, from people that I know in the business.
So it's important to get rid of that idealized master image that we might have now.
I mean, people do have thoughts of, if you speak a language, you know every single word. Well, do you know every single word in your own language?
Exactly.
Or do you sometimes come across new words? I mean, anybody watching, you can answer that question for yourselves. I personally have never met anybody who knows everything about everything in their own language. And so as a foreigner, as somebody learning that as a non-native, then it's going to be an even harder job, because you don't have that practice over a long time, and also you're not studying it at school. So it does make a big difference.
Exactly, yeah.
So anyway, I think it was really good to sort of make the video here and to to talk about this question because it's been something that's come up. So thank you very much for your input, Amir.
My pleasure, Richard.
We'll speak again soon.
All right. Yeah.